For the second half of the notes, we're going to use this formula that I listed here, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And so what you do is you want to label your points. So we know that a point should be xy. And the first point has a subscript of 1, so you just say x1 and y1. And the second point would have subscripts of 2. Okay, so the word I'm using is subscripts, and they just mean that they're down here at the bottom of the letter. So the first one is 1, second one is 2. Now, I went ahead and kind of gave you some steps to help you organize your work. So here's your formula. And I went ahead and drew the fraction bar and the 2 minus signs from the formula here. And now we're going to go plug in all the numbers. So y2 is over here. y2 is negative 2. And then y1 is 0. x2 is 3. And x1 is negative 1. And hopefully you recognize that when you have a minus and a negative together, this is just one big plus. Okay? So I would have negative 2 minus 0 is negative 2, and 3 plus 1 is 4. And when we do our slope, we need to have any fraction that we get, we should reduce it or try to divide it to make a whole number if possible. So this becomes negative 1/2 if I reduce this by 2. In part B, again, we are going to label x1, y1, x2, y2, and then we are going to plug that in. So our y2 is 2. Our y1 is also 2. So I went y2 minus y1. And then I'm going to do x2. So 4 minus the negative 3. Again, we have that 2 minus the negative together. So that becomes plus. And we have 2 minus 2 is 0. And 4 plus 3 is 7. Alright, now, 0 divided by 7, that is just 0. Okay. For letter C, again, we would label x1, y1, x2, y2, and then this time I did not set up the fraction, so we're going to do the division bar, put the minus signs in. Okay, and then plug all 4 numbers in. So the top is y2 and y1. So 0 minus negative 1. And 3 minus 0. So this becomes plus. So that becomes a 1. And 3 minus 0 is 3. 1/3 can't reduce, so I would leave it m equals 1/3. And then I do need to mention that if you see the letter m in algebra, usually this is referring to slope. So m is often used for slope. Okay, last one, letter D. Again, we're going to label x1, y1, x2, y2. Then we have our slope. So fraction bar, minus, minus. Start with y2 first. So y's are on top. 6 minus negative 5. On the bottom, we've got this negative 3 minus negative 3. So here, this should be plus. Here, this should be plus. So 6 plus 5. And then negative 3 plus 3. And earlier we discussed that if we have something divided by 0, you can't divide anything by 0. So this is considered undefined. Okay. And then we stop here.